Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, all sectors, mommy sector, celebrity news sector. It's KP, and I am back with some more news and an unexpected twist in the case that I heard was presented in court. So, there's a lot of conspiracies out there when it comes to P. Diddy, aka Sean Puffy Combs. I heard something that I want to share with you guys that is just, it makes me think, what has this man done? And is he liable for the deaths of many people? Okay. And I'll let you know what I mean. I'm going to get into that in just a moment. But we are now, I hear people saying that we're in day 2 of the trial. And please correct me, guys, if I'm wrong, but I really believe we're actually, this is the trial started on Monday, and we are now, it's Wednesday. Maybe it's Thursday in some places where you're watching, but it is Wednesday. The trial that's in Manhattan, the federal trial, it started on Monday. And I think that what I hear is it's day 2, but it's really just day 2 of Cassie's um testimony. I hear that she's going to be on the stand for at least 2 to 3 days. So the trial started on Monday, but we are actually in day 3, day 2 of her testimony. So I'm just going to go over a few things, but first I just really want to get into the curveball that was presented to the court. And when I say curveball, you guys, I don't know if you've heard this before, but I have my copyright disclaimer up, and I hope I don't get any type of strike when I share this. But I really wanted you to hear it for yourself. The curveball in this case is so shocking, but let me know if you don't think this is shocking. From according to news sources, Prince, okay, the late great Prince, the man who sang Purple Rain, last recording about P. Diddy was played in the court. We all know that Prince unfortunately lost his life to alleged substance abuse. And I just want to interact. I'm claiming fair use, but I really want you to hear this recording of what happened. What if Prince had cameras rolling the whole time? Everyone knows that Prince was a very private man, and allegedly there was some P. Diddy Prince parties. So let's listen to this, and then we're going to get back into Cassie's testimony.
Rolling the whole time. He wasn't just private, he was strategic, always 10 steps ahead, always in control. He never showed up at those parties himself, which had folks thinking he just didn't mess with the chaos. But now people are whispering something different. What if he had dirt on everything that went down in his house and kept that footage hidden? Some folks believe he passed it on to someone before he died, and with the way things are unfolding, there's real buzz that these tapes could surface in court. That's wild. And don't think the courtroom surprises stopped there. Even the jury selection had jaws on the floor. Names were flying left and right. Some we expected, some we definitely didn't. Michelle Williams, Robert Downey Jr., Mike Myers, Lauren London. Like, what is going on?
On December 31st, 1999, my publishing contract with Warner Chappell expired, thus emancipating the name I was given before birth, Prince, from all long-term restrictive documents.
Now let's talk about the names we did expect to be dragged into this mess, starting with Cassie. She was the first one to step forward and file that bombshell lawsuit, and her claims, straight up disturbing. According to Cassie, plenty of Diddy's own people, bad boy employees, assistants, security, saw what went down, but not a single soul had the guts to speak up. It gets even darker. Cassie said those same assistants were the ones delivering apology gifts after violent outbursts, and it didn't stop there. She claimed they were also setting up the infamous freak-offs. booking the hotel rooms, prepping the scenes with baby oil and Astroglide. Like, what kind of job description is that? And here's where it really hits. Cassie said that after one of those traumatic incidents, both Diddy's head of security and his assistant saw her condition, and they broke down crying. That's how bad it was. If that's true, best believe those staff members are getting subpoenaed real quick. Oh, and don't forget about Harve Pierre. His name came up in another lawsuit against Diddy, filed by a Jane Doe. And yep, he's reportedly landed on the witness list too.
I had searched deep within my heart and spirit, and I wanted to make a change and move to a new plateau in my life. And one of the ways in which I did that was to change my name. It sort of divorced me from the past and all the hang-ups that go along with it, as it's been well chronicled in deep dispute with my record label.
Which is Warner Brothers, right?
Yeah. We had some issues that were basically about ownership of the music and how often I was supposed to record and things like that. I really...
Okay, so we're going to pause it right there. And I'm going to get into what I found out today regarding Cassie's testimony. This is her second day. Cassie is now married to Mr. Fine. I think that's so funny that his name is Mr. Fine. It was said that Mr. Fine had to leave the courtroom during some of Cassie's testimony. Some say it's because he also will be called to testify. He was her trainer during the days that she dated P. Diddy. So day 2 of her testimony, she told about the freak-offs in more detail. Oh, what does Prince have to do with all this? I didn't hear what the connection was. Oh, the connection is that they're alleging that possibly he had some evidence, and I think that they're gearing towards the possibility that P. Diddy may have did something to harm him, or because of what he possibly had. But we'll get back into that in just a moment. So if you want, I could play it a little bit longer, but we're going to go back. We're going to go back and forth in between that. So on day 2, Cassie shared about the freak-offs in more detail and what she had to do and how they recovered from these freak-offs. And remember, this is a federal courtroom, so they cannot have any cameras in there. Cassie shared that during these freak-offs, she would get UTIs. That is a urinary tract infection. That often can happen when you have multiple partners, when you are not able to relieve yourself after X, okay? And even though she had these UTIs, he wouldn't even allow her to heal. He would still make her participate even though she was not completely healed. Also, she was fueled with narcotics. She testified that she was on and off narcotics. She would get addicted to some, and that she wanted to be on these narcotics because she wanted to zone out to be able to perform for these freak-offs. So the defense wanted to argue that Cassie was a willing participant. And it just seems as though she wanted to let them know that she was not a willing participant. The prosecution, on their end, they asked her how did she feel about hiring these ex workers to participate in these freak-offs. And she said that she felt that it was her job, and if she did not comply with it, she would get in trouble. So That's why she made sure to always make payments and get whatever he wanted because she did not want to disappoint him. It was also brought up that he kicked her off of a yacht without any shoes or any belongings, and she didn't have anywhere to go. She ended up having to go to hold on. Did they not see the hotel attack? No, they did. They did see the hotel attack video. That was in actually day 1. So if you're just now joining me, I'm covering the Cassie case, and I'll just briefly go over. In day 1, it was the hotel security where they went over the incident of what happened in the hotel on March 5th, 2016. And the security guard also had footage on his camera. He This was after an alleged freak off. She encountered a lot of kicking, a lot of hitting, and just a lot of emotional and physical AB. Cassie said that the way that they would recover from these freak offs, a lot of IV fluids, a lot of massage, and a lot of opiates. She said that she could not decline these freak offs and these king nights. She said that she suffered from constant UTIs and her health was always declining. But of course, he always made her perform, and if she didn't, she would be punished for it. She felt like it was her job. Another thing that the prosecution wanted to bring up was that this was not just a case of DV. Exactly. She does look like she was trying to get away. This was not just a case of DV. It involved organization of people, payments state across the state. They went from California, New York, New Jersey, and Florida. And there was also threats that were made to her. So let's go back to that incident on the yacht. The reason he felt like he needed to attack her was because he accused her of stealing drugs. And that's why he kicked her off the yacht. He said, you're selling drugs. And he made her just find her own way. She also shared with the court that there were often times where she felt ill and she would vomit. And although she felt ill and would vomit, he would still have her participate in the freak offs. Okay. And so day 1, they had the ex-worker and the security. Day 2, they had Cassie with her first testimony. They also took a break and she came back for more testimony. And then the next day, for her day 2, which is the third day of the trial, she's continuing with her testimony. She said that often they fought and it always resulted in physical contact from Sean Diddy Combs. She also testified in court that the ex-workers would hear the alleged abuse. And they would ask her if she was okay. And she did not want them to know that there was anything wrong, but it was hard for them not to realize it because they heard the abuse. So I am interested to know what her husband is going to say in court. I don't know why they made him leave. I'm thinking it's because possibly they didn't want his testimony to be, I don't know, influenced possibly by her testimony. If anybody that knows anything about legal, how they work with witnesses, please let me know. I did notice many news outlets said that a lot of people, it was a very chaotic scene. They have to have people going in and out of the courtroom. Again, it was also noted that his children, his twins, were visibly upset. Not just when the ex-worker was sharing what was going on, but when Cassie took the stand and was sharing in her testimony all the things their father did to her, they were visibly upset. She was made to organize payments for ex-workers. The defense wants to argue that she was a willing participant, but the prosecution, if they can prove that she was made to organize payments across state lines and there was threats made to her for not doing it, that can definitely give a racketeering and ex-trafficking charge, which he can get a life sentence. She did testify that they were in California, New York, New Jersey, and Florida, and also overseas. Okay. Now we're going to get into a little bit of this this news report that I found that states that Prince was involved in some of these parties that were at his home. It was said that Prince's last recording about Diddy was played in court. He was ready to expose him.
He searched deep within to find out the answer to whether fame was most important to me or my spiritual well-being, and I chose the latter.
Now here's where things get real twisted. One Jane Doe claimed that Harve Pierre convinced her to fly all the way from Detroit to Jersey, only for her to allegedly be assaulted by both Harve and Diddy. That's not just messy, it's straight up terrifying. But the names don't stop there. Young Miami, who was on Diddy's payroll, was allegedly involved too. Not just as a bystander, but rumored to be transporting substances for him. And guess what? Her name popped up during jury selection. This isn't just touching celebrities, it's hitting everyone in Diddy's circle. Another surprising name, Dallas Austin. Most people know him as a music producer, but what many don't realize is he was childhood friends with Kim Porter, Diddy's late partner. And since Kim's sudden death, rumors have swirled about whether Diddy was involved. Now with Dallas mentioned, folks are wondering if this piece of the puzzle is about to crack open. And then there's Laurieann Gibson, the choreographer from Making the Band. She filed a police report back in 2007, claiming Diddy picked up a chair and threatened her on set. That's some unhinged behavior right there. Aubrey O'Day, she's been vocal, loud and clear.
Aubrey O'Day, you guys have heard about her. She has always been vocal and clear about the AB, I keep saying the word, I'm trying not to, that she dealt with P. Diddy. You guys remember Making the Band.
In Cassie's claims and exposing Diddy's alleged inappropriate behavior toward her too. And yep, former Danity Kane member, Dawn Richard, she's in the mix as well. She even sued Diddy, accusing him of serious misconduct. According to the lawsuit, Diddy's alleged abuse wasn't just behind closed doors. It reportedly started right on set during the filming of Making the Band. He was accused of hurling nasty, demeaning insults at the women in the show, breaking them down while the cameras rolled. And when it came to working on music, Dawn Richard claimed it got even worse. She said would force her to rehearse for hours with no rest, no food, no sleep, just pure exhaustion. and she claimed he used that moment to take advantage of her when she was worn down and vulnerable. But it didn't stop there. Dawn also dropped a major bomb. She says she personally saw Diddy get physical with Cassie while he was high. That's a first-hand account that could shake up the whole case.
The first Diddy party I went to was at Prince's house. So you want to go to Prince's house to the Diddy party where Tyrese is performing and Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher are swinging on swings. That is what's happening on the other side of the wall. And so the one thing that makes this party different than a Jamie Foxx party or any other celebrity party that wrangles a bunch of young women or guys or whatever too, is that Diddy didn't let you bring your security in the party.
Now
Diddy did not let you bring your security in the party. Hey, Dr. A, welcome to the chat. There's a lot going on here. They brought our boy Prince into this. I would love to hear or see the transcript of what they played in court. I need to find that. I need to find out what they said. I need to find a news outlet that took some notes in there.
let's talk about the men connected to Cassie. Michael B. Jordan's name came up, but not because he's accused of anything. He was mentioned in Cassie's lawsuit because of a flirty vibe they had back in 2015. But the prosecution, they're planning to pull in as many of Cassie's exes as possible, and we already know why. Kid Cudi's name stands out big time. Cassie admitted to having a brief fling with him in 2011 during a rough patch with Diddy, and when she got back with Diddy, he found old emails between her and Cudi, and he snapped. According to the lawsuit, Diddy was so furious, he made sure Kid Cudi was at home before blowing up his car. And guess what? Kid Cudi's car really did blow up in his own driveway. That part of Cassie's lawsuit wasn't some wild exaggeration. It happened. Now with this trial heating up, more names are expected to drop. But like I said earlier, Prince being involved, that was a plot twist no one was ready for. And now folks are asking, did Prince know something? The whispers are getting louder. Some people are wondering if that mysterious tape he allegedly had on Diddy could have played a role in his own death. It's a chilling thought, but when you start putting the pieces together, it makes you stop and think. Because here's the eerie part. Just days before Prince passed, he knew something was coming. He posted a photo of himself with a now deleted caption, "Just when you thought you were safe." Like, what? That message alone gives major goosebumps. At his final appearance at Paisley Park, he posted a photo of himself with
Rest in peace, Prince. Just when you thought you were safe.
the now deleted caption, "Just when you thought you were safe."
What do you guys think about this plot twist? Oh, he said Kid Cudi's name wrong. What do you guys think about this? Let me play this. I'm still trying to look for the Prince recording and see what they said about it. I can't find it yet.
Like, what? That message alone gives major goosebumps. At his final appearance at Paisley Park, after reportedly getting some kind of medical treatment, he told the crowd something strange. Wait a few days before you waste any prayers. What kind of person says that unless they feel something is about to go down and then, boom, Prince is gone, found unresponsive at his estate in Minnesota. Officially, the report said it was an accidental fentanyl overdose, supposedly from counterfeit Vicodin pills. But let's be real, people never bought that. Prince was known for his clean lifestyle. No drugs, no mess. So how does someone like that end up dying from a synthetic opioid? Did Prince have health problems? That's what people keep asking. But let's get real. There's way more to the story than just his physical health.
Your life and getting you into rehab.
Yes, he did. I had a long time kind of battling those things, and after my father passed, it got really bad. And so I called up Big Bruh to help. He said, okay, when and where.
See, Prince wasn't just an artist, he was a fighter. For decades, he battled with major corporations over ownership and control of his music. He was relentless about protecting artists' rights and making sure they got their money. And some say he paid the ultimate price for standing his ground. There's long been speculation about whether Warner Brothers had anything to do with what happened to him. Nothing's been proven, but if you ask his fans, a lot of them are convinced there's more to the story. They believe the very system he fought against might have had a hand in silencing him. Prince signed with Warner Music way back in 1977 when he was just 18. His first few albums between 1970.
Oh no, Prince and P. Diddy were signed to the same.
and 1981 didn't blow up, but Warner kept him. He was already seen as a visionary. They saw him as the kind of artist that added legitimacy to their label, and they weren't wrong. Then came 1982, just a year after MTV launched. Prince dropped more music, hit the top 10 in the US for the first time, and changed the game. He wasn't just making music, he was building a whole mythology around himself. He knew the power of visuals. He understood that a music video.
I agree with you, sis. People just don't want to accept that they could have it could have happened. You know, because if we want to talk about conspiracy theories and things that we heard out there about Prince, you know, he wasn't perfect. A lot of people don't know that he also suffered from hip pain from wearing these heels. He had really bad hip pain. And yeah, that's why he sat down a lot towards the end of his life playing the guitar. He did not get up, jump around, and dance because he was in a lot of pain. But only him and God knows what really happened. But, you know, we will never really know the real truth.
Video wasn't just promo, it was a weapon, a way to shape his image, control his narrative, and stand out like no one else. By the time Purple Rain dropped in 1984, Prince wasn't just a superstar, he was a full-blown cultural movement.
Yeah, I bet you he won't say anything about Prince and his hip replacement and how right before he passed away, he actually went and got a prescription and they had to have emergency landing because he wasn't feeling well. I don't know if it's because he had took too much or what, but then later on he was found in his elevator at Paisley Park. But if this guy didn't say anything about that hip pain, then obviously he's just doing what he do, you know?
Fans were copying his look, his sound, his everything. He was the biggest and most electrifying name in pop, no question about it. But behind the scenes, was fed up. He hated that Warner Brothers owned the rights to his name and every piece of music he released under it. Imagine being one of the greatest artists alive and not even owning your own name. So what did he do? He flipped the whole game. Prince changed his name to a literal symbol, that iconic squiggle. People started calling him the artist formerly known as Prince, and he made it loud and clear. He was in a war for his creative freedom. He spoke out and didn't hold back. Now here's where it gets messy. Diddy? He was cutting deals with the very same folks Prince was trying to expose. Diddy inked a massive joint venture with Warner Music Group. Yep, that Warner. The agreement gave Warner a 50% stake in Bad Boy Records. Warner took over digital and physical distribution of Bad Boy's entire catalog, past and present, and helped manage their roster worldwide. And Diddy, he was proud of that move.
Okay, let me see what you said, Dr. So so Prince was whooping allegedly of women. Now, was he Diddy? No. But again, like you said, wasn't innocent, but in my past, I wasn't exactly. Everybody has a past.
He publicly said, there have been a lot of boutique labels that come and go, but we're still here. He bragged that this partnership gave them the financial firepower to.
You know what I noticed? I don't know what Diddy experienced as a young man, but it is reported that Prince was a child that grew up in a house that there was a lot of DV going on. And also another famous boy, I call him a boy, man, Chris Brown. He witnessed his mother experience a lot of DV. And usually some of these men, when they grow up around it, unfortunately, they become a product of their environment.
Keep dominating the game.
It wasn't hard at all. It was a 2-second phone call. He's gone. I had been preparing for 2 years, so I knew that it was coming.
What does that mean?
He said it a couple of years ago.
What would he say?
What he said was, I've done everything that I've come to do. So
Okay, so I'm going to stop it right here because this commentary is about day 2 of this trial and what was said. And so I haven't heard anything else but a lot of just a lot of detail of what she had to do, which was hire ex-workers, perform even when she had a UTI, um, take mini baths in baby oil. She always wanted to run away and get away from these freak offs, but he would not let her. He would always punish her and then try to make up with her later with gifts, flowers, gifts, like trips. But he would continuously do things to her that would hurt her. She ended up marrying her personal fitness trainer, Alex Fine, and right now she's carrying her third child. If you look up, there's some info in DC about DV on his wife. He was kind of cruel with that girl after those children she carried. He was so religious, but he didn't acknowledge the passing. Yeah, I'm very aware of that story. I know. I remember about that. And I did watch a interview with his ex-wife. But Diddy is on film with it. Yes. Diddy was on film for sure. Yeah, he is definitely going to have to answer to what he's done. And Cassie, she does admit that she did drugs, but she did it to escape. She admits that she had to, it was her job to buy the ex-workers. And if they can check off, if the prosecution can check off all the boxes that line up to racketeering and an organized crime, then he will definitely be convicted for ex trafficking, racketeering. So we shall see what is going to happen in the days to come. There's a lot going on. And we will also see when the first celebrity witness shall appear. Because so far, Cassie, actually, she is the first because she is a celebrity. She's the main witness. But as I said, there's many people that are on these lists. And I read off a little bit of the list last night, and I'm going to. I told you I saw Kamala Harris was in. I wonder if she would go. But see, there's many lists. There is the party list, and then there's the after party list. Okay, so some people are saying, okay, that's the first list, but where is the after party list? Because there's many that are on this list that may have not been at the after party, but it is suspect if they are on this list. Okay? There's so many. And you heard Jason from, I think he used to be from Hollywood Uncut, but I think he has his own show now. He says a lot. Hold on, let's see what this. I'm going to be honest, this testimony might make her husband leave her. He didn't look very pleased, as if he didn't know or he revealed what she told him in front of the court. Only time will tell. I really don't. I would hope he wouldn't leave her because of this. I honestly think, if I had to make an assumption of a theory, as I do this commentary, I think that he knew what she went through. I think she shared with him what she went through, and she's the mother of his children. I hope that this is something that would not make him leave her. Maybe it will make them even closer. Who knows? So we shall see. But I could understand how you could some men and women could not be windows are the eyes of the soul. Mm, we will see. He could just be very deeply hurt from hearing what his wife went through. Again, but we don't know what goes on with people behind closed doors. We don't. We don't. Mm-mm. And we don't know what made them stay together, what made her feel safe enough to leave and remarry. Not remarry. Sorry, I misspoke. Marry to get into another relationship. So I hope things work out and I hope she has a safe delivery. I couldn't imagine having to be on the stand and recounting all of these tragic memories, these this trauma. She just completely has to relive this trauma, and she's carrying a child. I wouldn't be surprised if this makes her go into labor early. Tupac told us that what Diddy was doing. If you go and look at the original Machiavelli, yes, he did. He said a lot of things about him. And I believe that he was trying to tell us something. Many people were trying to tell us something. Even Dave Chappelle was trying to tell us something in his jokes. Dave Chappelle was trying to tell us that he is no joke, even though it was in a comical way. Like Diddy is not the only one, right? There's many that act like him in the industry and not in the industry. Regular people day to day that you walk past might live this way. Might not be on the same magnitude of it, but all of them should be investigated, honestly. Mhm. Well, so I will see you guys in the next video. This was just a review and there was a curveball. We don't know exactly what was played on that recording of Prince in court. This is the first I've heard of it. Oh, thank you. Thank you for loving my commentary. This is the first I heard of Prince possibly being involved, but we shall see what comes next. Again, Cassie recovered with IV fluids, massage, chef meals, opiates, on and off drugs, had a declining health, and she had constant UTIs. She even would vomit from time to time and was still made to perform. What will we hear next? We will see what happens in the weeks to come of this 8-week trial. I'll see you guys tomorrow because I will be reporting daily on what I find out about this trial. And also, I'm going to do more celebrity news. I'm going to be following the case and the restraining order of Haley Bailey, and DDG. So we'll see what happens with them as well. Thank you for sharing this experience with me, and I will see you guys in the next video, and we will see what happens with this case. Cassie, of actually not just Cassie, P. Diddy, the racketeering charges, and the ex-trafficking charges. Talk to you later. You're welcome, and thank you. See you guys in the next video. I hope everybody has a good night. See you later.